Well, fire alarm systems can be very difficult, and one of the things that is always amazing is how we move through the functions of a fire alarm. And there's nowadays there's more sophisticated than they've ever been. You got to look at the computer driving the systems, where it's going off-site, on-site, wherever to a central station. All those things composed come into the functions of a fire alarm system. And it starts at a control panel and an annunciator panel. And also starts with the alarm going to the dispatch center telling you to go to the fire alarm that was basically triggered. You got to remember there's only three basic components to any fire alarm systems: is initiating device, the notification, and the control panel. This is key to any fire alarm system. And the big thing is the people that are in the building, do they really know how the system works? So you got to look at things constantly, and you got to look at the introduction a little bit closer here. Brannigan trying to bring out a couple of things here in this book, and the subsequent art about the systems that are basic. They perform complex tasks, meaning they're always the system's talking to itself, and at the same time, they must be they must be nationally recognized as a fire alarm system, meaning UL, and also through a testing of the electrical code as well. You see these boxes all over the place. You see how they come into play. This chapter itself has got 68 slides in it, and you start seeing the history of the next generation of panels and how they move forward and how they are basically talking to you with microprocessors, intelligent software devices. The big thing is, more than anything else, a panel has multiple functions, and as a responding fire department, you have to understand those functions and what they're all going to do. What's a yellow alarm mean? What's a red alarm mean? What happens when the system's in trouble? All this is important. The big thing about devices are they can be set off in a lot of different ways. In this particular slide, you see a pull box right by a panic bar device that will alarm, and the minute somebody hits it, it opens it up. So it's all part of the alarm system that goes into the fire alarm system. Devices are important. NFPA 72 pretty much tells you how it's got to get done, and how boxes have got to be 5 feet within the exit and between 42 and 48 inches off the floor. This is really important stuff, and they got to be marked red. Imagine that, red for fire. So the big thing is you're looking at all this information, and you got to look at the fact that the devices have to be maintained. You have to understand the coding of the devices, and the big thing is, more than anything else, how they move through. Smoke detectors are part of the system as well. If smoke detector activates, the fire alarm system goes off, and here we go, we're off to the races. We talked a little bit about smoke detectors, but ionization detectors are now coming a little bit to being antiquated. We're looking at photoelectric because it's quicker, but there's all types of sensors or electric detection systems, meaning photoelectric, smoke detectors, beam detectors, and ducts, air sampling smoke detectors, duct detectors, video smoke and flame detectors. The list goes on. All these detectors are designed to do one thing: activate automatically in case they sense or see the products of combustion. Pictures go through here. You also see in fire alarm devices too, where you got high heat detectors, where the temperature has to meet to a certain degree before the detector goes off, as well as a sprinkler system. It's because of the operation in which you're going to find it in. Go through your community as a fire inspector, or as a company officer, or just part of the company, and see the various types of appliances that you have in fire alarm systems in your system. Horn systems, buzzers, bells, anything that signify. The strobe sights for basically for the some of them have buzzers in them, and it gives off a rattle for the deaf and impaired. So the big thing is you got to look at these systems and how they come together. Am I going to sit here and read every slide to you? No. I'm going through it pretty fast, but the big thing is you got to understand the functions of a fire alarm system. This chapter is all about that, and it's a pretty good chapter. It's pretty in-depth. One of the big things is fire alarm systems are evolving constantly. The wireless systems are now in place. Look at the TV ads that are going on out there telling you, hey, buy the wireless system I got. That way you never have to have ADT come into your house. Think about all those things. The other thing is, Tied into the fire alarm systems right now are CO detectors and also to burglar alarm systems. So your fire alarm system now becomes a security system of all types. So keep that in the back of your mind as you read this chapter. Thank you.